Y'all, 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 y'all. Here we go. Blech. Yeah, we in the building. What's popping? What I'm talking about? I know the volume is back. Yeah, we good. We gooch. Y'all, y'all, y'all. All right. Yeah, we made that work. We made that work. Peace to you and yours. Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. Brother Richfield tapping in live and direct. It's a delay. We tapping in. You know what I'm talking about? Tapping in. We have a good conversation tonight. A lot going on. A lot going on. However, we just had our first class. We just had our first class for American Gods last Sunday, and we got another Sunday coming up. Class number 2, and it is going to be a powerhouse. And why do I say that? It's going to be a powerhouse class because, god damn it, look at what the hell is going on. These stories are writing themselves. We are literally living in a time where you could be able to tell your children, yo, I was learning about this shit in real time. I was tapping into my powers in real time. I was seeing the shifting and the changing of the guard in real time. And I wasn't listening to WNBC. I wasn't watching Fox News. I was learning this from Red Pill. You know what I mean? He was dropping that shit. He was giving me something. He was giving me a way of seeing this thing. He was giving me a perspective and a vantage point. Make no mistake about this. I might not know everything, and I never profess to know a lot, right? You know, I profess that I don't know nothing, to be honest with you. But what I do know is this situation that we see taking place, not just a rap beef. It's not just rap. It's bigger than rap. It's bigger than rap. It is framed in the context of rap because these are rappers, right? But no, this, my friends, is not your typical quote unquote rap beef. Don't minimize what you see taking place. No, this is a regime change. This is a coup d'etat. Stop listening to people. I'm a Scorpion. We big on loyalty, right? We big on loyalty. So as Scorpions, we like, yo, be loyal to us. You know what I'm talking about? Just stand on something. You know, pick a side and stay there. You got to learn to be loyal to something. What did this beef and this challenge show us? That having a strong team is maybe the number one defense that you can have in war. Having a strong team, having people who are going to stand by you, having people that are going to hold you down, having people that are not going to leak your information, not having Julius Caesar and Brutus around you. That is one of the many things. We could get into what this battle has shown us. One of the reasons why the title is said the old media was the biggest loser in the rap battle is because the media is not giving you proper contextual narrative, right? They're not feeding you. They're not educating you, right? That's not what they're doing. What are they doing? They're working in the interest of corporate America. And you've seen it many times before, and you've seen it many times again, but you just see it so much that you don't realize that you're seeing it when you're seeing it, right? But make no mistake about it, sir, ma'am, young man, young lady. God, goddess. Make no mistake about it that is what you're seeing. You are seeing corporate America coming into the fold to protect their corporate interests. And who is their corporate interest? You guessed it, Aubrey Graham, right? He is an ETF, okay? He is an ETF. He is a bond, okay? He is a corporate interest. He holds economies together. This one man, along with Taylor Swift. These are economies. These are not artists. These are systems. This system is under attack. No, matter of fact, this system has failed and the system was defeated and the system was toppled. Okay, there is a regime change. It's been a coup d'etat nonetheless, but whenever you have a regime change, everything got to go. So what has to go? Academics, you got to go. You understand? Everybody that rooted for Drake, you got to go with him on vacation. He is currently inside of the Titan on the way to see the Titanic. And y'all are going with him. You're going to sink with this ship. You got to go. Okay? You got to go. You got to go. It's a wrap. It's over. There's been a coup d'etat. Look, the embassy has been breached. It's over. Okay? The streets are talking. The people have spoken. The votes have come in. Men lie, women lie, Rolling Stone don't. You're out of here, buddy. Okay? You're out of here. More BBL Drizzy remixes on the way. The Dragon is slayed. And you're going to see, right? You're going to see how it plays out. And this is also because we got to use disclaimers because we got new visitors, we got new people in the building. You know what I'm talking about? And they might not be able to go to heights that are going to take it. And you got ignorant knuckle draggers who try to clown people who are able to take conversations to higher levels. However, many of us, we get triggered because we remember these are the short bus, the niggas with ringworms back in the days. They used to ride the short bus. They the same niggas that would try to shame us and clown us for being intelligent. So if you fall for that, nigga, that's on you. Me personally, I ain't worrying about it. I'm not listening to these knuckle draggers. Nigga, you are never going to shame me for being a falcon when you niggas is on giving pigeon. You're not going to shame me for being a falcon when you giving pigeon. I ain't going for it. Them days is over. I'm trying to explain to y'all what is taking place in the culture, calling us hoteps, right? Yeah, the hotep, all of that shit. These people are going to melt down and turn into they're going to turn into homicidal maniacs and whatnot. The meltdown is real. It's taking place all around you. You just might not know how to see it because you're not trained to see what you're seeing, right? But let me tell you something. The buildings are falling all around you. The empire is crumbling all around you. This is like the scene in Inception where Leonardo was walking on a beach trying to max shorty and whatnot, and the buildings were falling all around them. And he paid no mind to the buildings falling because he was focused and whatnot. So you don't pay attention to anything that's falling because you didn't take an L. You're not falling. The people, if you ever got, when you, whatever's falling is the people who are holding on to a fallen, quote unquote, principle, a fallen epoch, a fallen era, a fallen idea of what this shit is versus what it's not. Versus what it's not. And what it's not is, it's not about Drake no more. And what is Drake? Drake is all of the shit that we don't agree with. Don't rap against Kendrick ever. What does Kendrick represent? Kendrick is T'Challa, right? Kendrick is consciousness. Kendrick is melanin. Kendrick is not beyond wokeness. Kendrick is positivity. Kendrick is post solar eclipse ascension. Kendrick is 432 hertz. Kendrick is homeostasis. Kendrick is alkaline, right? Kendrick is discipline, self-discipline, self-mastery, art, right? That's what he represents. That's him as an archetype. Don't try to change. You could try to change, or I'm not gonna tell you what don't to do. Don't do what you want to do. However, prior to this, I want to just point out to you because I'm going to use logic. I'm not going to go over your head. I'm not going to use calculus. I'm not going to lose anybody. I'm going to give you, and as passionate and as enthusiastic I am, I'm the new media, and this is how we teach. You know what I mean? We teach with some extra spice. You dig? We teach with some extra spice. So don't judge me. Don't judge me. But rappers have been archetypes for as long as I remember. They've been archetypes forever, correct? Rappers have been looked at as archetypes. Yo, this rapper represents darkness. They represent the gutter. They represent the trenches. They represent Shango. They represent the killers. They represent all of that, right? This one represents aspiration. He's like Venus. You know, all of that, it was a go before. So let it be a go now. Kendrick Lamar and Drake, the whole battle and conflict is metaphorical. It started out on some mundane human shit, and then it escalated to whereas it has the world's attention. People would try to act like that's a distraction and that's a waste of time. I would say refer to our 2009 debut lecture called Blueprint 322, and the subtitle was Hip Hop Controls the World. How hip hop controls the world. This was in 2009. Hip hop had not been named popular culture yet. Hip hop had not been christened to be the world's music. Hip hop was not accepted by the world when we did that lecture. But what that lecture did, though, is that lecture introduced the conversation about Drake being the quote unquote Neo, right? Not of the Matrix, but of the machine. What do you mean by that? What I mean by that is Brother Blue Pill showed beyond any refutable. He showed beyond reasonable doubt that there was a character on the way called Aubrey Graham. This is 2009. They had him on magazine covers saying that he's the new religion. He had Sprite commercials where he was changing from a robot and whatnot into a human being and whatnot, right? He was coming from the north, the northernmost kingdom, okay? And Aubrey Graham was considered to be the machine's Neo because he was remember they said they had to make 6 Neos before they perfected the program. They made 6 Neos before they found the one. He was the one because other Neos that they tried to infiltrate into the culture, they didn't make it. They did not make it and whatnot. They did not pass check all of the boxes, and they were not accepted by the people to succeed in full infiltration, right? It's about full infiltration. The movie that I'm going to refer to so you understand fully what I'm talking about and who this man represents, right? Because we'll use movie references so we don't get lost. He represents Sam Worthington from Avatar, right? Jake Scully, I mean, right? Drake represents Jake Scully in Avatar. If you remember, and they came out the same time, exactly around the same time. If you remember Avatar, what was taking place? What was taking place was the government or the other side, the colonizers, they needed to invade into a sacred space. They needed to enter into a sacred space where that sacred space had assets and natural resources, energy, attention, the people, right? and they couldn't necessarily go into the amongst the Navi because of who they were, right? Because if you go amongst the Navi ain't rocking with you because they already know who you are. You homicidal, you a rogue state, right? You are not to be trusted. You're bankers. You're not honest and whatnot. You're tricksters and whatnot. You're thieves. You are the real estate agents, right? Nobody trusts you. They keep you at an arm's length. But here in the movie Avatar, they took Jake Scully, whose real name is Sam Worthington. They downloaded his consciousness into the body of a Navi, right? And the Navi was a clone body. It was a clone body, right? And but the mind, right? Remember the eyes and the mind, they were looking through his eyes. Whatever he saw, they saw. Whoever he was amongst, they was amongst. That's how the movie Avatar is showing you. And he was able to download into the Navi's body, and then now he walked amongst the Navi. But he's one of them. He looks like a Navi. He got swag like a Navi. He's fighting with the Navi. He's holding the Navi down. He's breeding, and he brought the Navi something to eat and whatnot. He's helping to hunt with the Navi. He's in the field with the Navi, the same way that Drake was in the field with Little Baby. He was in the field with Young Thug. He was in the field with the young boy from Memphis. He was in the field with um Future. He was outside and whatnot. He came amongst the hood. He came amongst the Navi and whatnot. He came amongst the rappers. He came amongst the gutter. He came amongst the trenches and whatnot. Okay. Little Wayne brought him in. Little Wayne brought him in and gave him the pass. The pass is like a visa. And when you get a pass, you are able to extract billions of dollars if you know how to use that pass correctly. So he invades into the culture. He's the Navi. He's Avatar. That's who Drake is. Drake is an invader. He's a poser. They call him a poser, not because he's from Canada, not because he's of quote unquote of biracial descent. Nobody is talking about biracialness. What people are talking about, what they're talking about in extensiveness is the fact that he is of lesser Israel and not beta Israel, and he comes from a group of people who are not considered to be the chosen. So he and right off the bat, there's a conflict of interest, and to exasperate matters even further, there's a humongous conflict of interest when it comes down to the Messiah, because he's looking for a different Messiah than what we're looking for. He never spoke on our issues when we lost our black or more messiahs, because he don't identify with our black or more messiahs. He don't identify with our messiahs. He don't identify with our messengers. He don't identify with our power. He don't identify with our frequency. He does not identify with the messianic forces that we have. He would want you to worship and to give it up and to honor and to quote unquote be tapped into his messianic message or his messianic power or what he represents with his Messiah. And if you don't know if you don't know the implications of that, then you should just be tapping in, because I will teach you. That's what we'll be covering this Sunday coming up in class number 2. We are going to dive into the biblical implications of this battle that is too much to ignore. And the reason why I know old media needs to be replaced immediately, right? They need to be walked out of the back and just told, no problem, but y'all got to keep it moving. Nobody's going to do nothing to you, but you got to go that away. You got to go that away, my brother. You got to go that away, right? We're not rocking with you, okay? So we got to have a conversation about what the hell is going down right in front of your eyes, and you don't see it, right? Because we got work to do. So I don't have time to waste. These are all teacher moments. I'm not about dangling no carrots and stuff like that. There's so much things to talk about. There's so many teacher moments. I have to get myself ready for the party. You know what I mean? We have to take the big stage, bro. This is our time. This is what we've been working on for a very long time. Like our time has arrived, right? So the very first person, like I was saying on earlier shows that I've done, this is ultimately, unfortunately, right? I didn't even never say this. This is the first time I'm saying this. This is going to be one of my pillar prophecies, and I don't want it to be I don't want it to be a pillar prophecy this actually gonna come to fruition. I could do without this prophecy, but due to a bunch of meditations that I've done, and just due to a download that I received recently, this is all the what you call it. This whole thing that we're seeing is the killing of the king ritual. This is the sacrifice of the king ritual. This is what you're seeing, y'all. You feel me? Make no mistake about it. They've done this many times in history. The Moors have been lined up to as kings. This is the king, quote unquote, the three king ritual. They knocked a few kings off recently, but pay attention. Drake historically is what they call an amalgamated Moor, right? He could play for either side of the quote unquote teams. He could be a Moorish warrior, Moorish royalty, or he could be fighting for Christendom like El Cid in them, right? Remember El Cid back in the days of the Inquisition and all of that. So in Al Andalus, right, and more in the Iberian Peninsula, what they call Moorish Spain, from the year of 711 to the year 1492, right? There were multiple different multiple different dynasties that were running things all up and down Europe. I'm talking about Germany. I'm talking about France. I'm talking about Italy. I'm talking about Spain, Rome. Remember, when you go to Italy now, there's northern Italy and then there's southern Italy. Northern Italy is the Napoleon. That's like the whiter or the more Vatican type of Romans, right? That's like Rome. You go to the south, that's where you find the quote unquote darker olive complexion. That's where the mafia comes out of. That's Sicilians, Moorish blood, right? They were mixed with the Moors. You go into Germany, you find the Bavarian Moors, you find Saint Maurice, you find Moors. If you look into the coat of arms of most of these royal families or these clans and whatnot in Europe, at the top is what? Drake. Drake. At the top is what? A Moor. It's a Moor. Um, in Drake's culture, the matrilineage is how you are chosen, right? Through the mother, right? So he checked all of the boxes. He is the industry's Neo, right? They tried it with Astra Raw, and it didn't make he wasn't able to check all boxes. They needed somebody who was the perfect quote unquote Obama for hip hop, and that's who they found in Aubrey Graham. But he has pledged allegiance to another, not a nationality, a heritage, right? And that heritage is not of quote unquote, that heritage is taking another group of people's heritage, right? So the other group of people whose heritage that his people is taking, these people happen to be also in Israel, and they are called Beta Israel. Say that with me, y'all. Beta Israel. You see the double entendre? Beta Israel. Beta. Right? So this individual who goes by the name, you can't make this up. He goes by the name of Amir, right? Now, keep in mind, let me add another historical context. Like I said, Drake would be a Moor in Spain, right? DJ Khaled would be a Moor. French Montana would be a Moor, right? All of them look similar to each other, and they all come out. Their phenotype, people that look exactly like them, are in North Africa right now. They are in places where the Ottoman Empire was. They are all up in the Middle East. That you'll see them when you travel. There's a million Drakes in France right now. You know what I'm saying? They come from African fathers and Jewish mothers, right? They're all over Europe. You see it. You see it. These are the Drake types. Haiti, when they went to war against the tragic mulattoes in Haiti, those were Drakes that they were going up against. When the Moors got defeated in Spain, who killed them? Their sons. The Drakes killed them. They got killed by the dragon. Their sons killed them. And the sons took the sides of the mother, henceforth Masons, Ma sons. The sons sided with the mother's old-time religion, and they crossed. It's like the Red Wedding on Game of Thrones. They crossed their fathers and cut their heads off. The Rosicrucians have a whole folklore about the murder of the 3 Moorish kings. They take the kings, they behead them, and that's where you see them on flags where you got the Moors' heads, right? But I don't want to lose anybody and be too great. But this is a historical reference to what you're seeing right now when they say that war on higher principalities, when they say it's deeper than rap. These are some of the things that they're talking about, right? Let me just share something. Let me show you. Boom. The first shot that was taken in this conflict, because everybody's talking about Drake's mansion getting shot up and whatnot. But why didn't a week before that, they shot up an Ethiopian's house? His name is Amir. They shot his name is Cash XO, right? That's the Weeknd's manager. These are Falasha Jews. Ha! You understand? Look at what's taking place. These are Falasha Jews. Okay? And allegedly, Drake and his peoples, somebody did it. He was all the way in LA and they shot up his house. You feel me? He was all the way in LA and they shot up his house. Right? So why didn't nobody say a ceasefire back then? Why wasn't niggas was carrying on with business as usual? I didn't hear nobody calling for peace. I didn't hear nobody say, nah, this shit is going too far. I did not hear none of that. But they shot that man's house up. Right? Check it out.
A security guard has been wounded outside of a music executive's home in Encino.
Gigi Gracieta is live with the latest on the guard and the search for the suspects. Gigi.
That's right. Investigators have wrapped up their work here at the home behind me in Encino, but the real work for detectives starts now, trying to figure out exactly who these 3 suspects are and why they targeted this home. Take a look at the video. It all happened about 2:30 this morning in Encino. A security guard shot near his guard shack multiple times, taken to the hospital, and rushed straight into surgery in critical condition. That guard now out of surgery and expected to make it. He managed to tell police there were 3 suspects, 3 men, all of them reportedly armed with guns and wearing hoodies. Now, the multi-million-dollar home belongs to Amir Ismailian, better known as Cash XO, who together with recording artist The Weeknd founded XO Records and has made quite a name for himself in the music industry. And a short while ago, investigators were on White Oak and a parking lot because it is believed that the suspects jumped the wall into the home early this morning. Now, the big question, were they targeting the security guard, or was this going to be a home invasion or attempted burglary? We're told that Cash XO was at home at the time. He had several guests over, but the suspects never made it into the house. Reporting live in Encino, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, Gigi.
So people been crossing the line been crossed. The minute you spill blood in a certain situation, then it turns into something completely different. So blood has been spilled on both sides. That means that the ritual is set. You understand? The ritual has literally been set. So the stage is set. Um, the stage is set. You know what I mean? Even though Kendrick don't have nothing to do with it, people are using logic. You can't use logic in this. This is not a logical situation that we're in. This is beyond logic. This is, you got to look at the I would beg you to look at the shit beneath the quote unquote surface and way beneath what you're seeing on the news and whatnot. That is never the way to examine what you see taking place. um Dude, did they try to shoot up and whatnot, like they said on the thing? His name is Amir, right? He he's down with the Weekend, and the Weekend is quote unquote pro-Palestinian, right? The Weekend, he's Ethiopian, right? And he's riding with the Palestinians when it comes to this whole situation in Gaza, right? Just to be clear about where he stands. So he don't rock with he not only don't he rock with Drake, he don't rock with his people. Feel me? And he's one of the few celebrities with, because the Weekend is humongous outside of America. He's big in America, but he's really, really big outside this bitch. You dig? He's really big outside this bitch. So, real quick, let us read something. Let's add a little bit of history to this lesson and whatnot. Because I was talking to y'all about the Jews in Spain, and you probably never in your life thought the Jews that they were talking about in Spain were melanated. You know what I mean? You probably like, what is he talking about? Jews in Spain. What does that got to do with us, Red Pill? We Negroes, right? So I'm just gonna start showing you some things so you can have a better idea about the people that they're putting in front of you, that you don't have a cultural context about them. So you just be you fair game. Like, if you don't know shit, you're literally fair game. They're playing in your face. You don't know what's going on. You don't even know who these characters are. So you're left eating from the pig pen, and they're feeding everybody slop right now. Old media is feeding everybody slop. They're taking away the richness of the conversation. They're taking away. They're taking away. They're robbing you of contextual narrative. This is food for thought. The fuck? You giving this shit all your energy and you can't eat a proper meal? I wish I would. I wish I would. So this is the Reconquista, right? And these are the conversion. This is the conversion of the Moors into Jews, right? And this is how Christendom, this is how Negroes became Christians in mass all across Europe and whatnot. So this is the Reconquista, how the Christian kingdoms took Spain from the Moors, right? And the ones who double crossed the Moors were their children, the sons, the amalgamated ones, the ones that had two nations. They chose their mothers' nations over their fathers. Other before that, they were not being defeated by these Europeans. They could not defeat them. The armies were too powerful. But when you bring somebody's own blood to fight them, god damn it, they're gonna lose against their own blood. You know what I mean? It's hard to defeat your son, you know. So people always lambasting about the Moors, this sold out black people and all of this dumb shit. Um, the Moors got double crossed by their own sons. So yeah, there were a bunch of conversions, right? They converted them into Catholics. They converted them into basically, remember when Anakin got turned into a Dark Lord? Remember they turned Anakin into a Dark Lord? All of the Jedi Knights went dark with him. That's exactly what happened with these Moors. They had to turn dark. They Christianed them into Catholics, and then they put shields and swords in their hands, and they were part of the army now. So when you lose war, you get the short end of the stick. For people who've never been in war, you don't have any type of contextual you don't have no reference points. You have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. However, that doesn't take away from what's being talked about, right? So the Reconquista, it was crazy. The Moors got ousted, they got defeated, they got ran down on, they got put in chains and put in slavery, and many of them took to the waters or the oceans and the seas, and they turned into pirates. So that's where you get the Pirates of the Caribbean, and that's where you get a pirate named Drake. You know what I mean? And that's where all of those pirates in Florida and the Caribbean, Jamaica, Port Royal, and all of that. You know what I mean? So this is interesting history. I'm not going through all of that tonight. I'm just giving y'all a heads up what we're gonna be talking about on Sunday, right? Because that's where the teaching takes place. I'm just giving y'all some context as to what's going on, so we could look at it a little bit deeper. Feel me? We could look at it a little bit deeper. Like, let's see. Like this conflict is as above, so below. So it is about Palestine versus Israel. It is about Drake being Israeli or Zionist, and everybody else is banging on him, representing the same way that the world is coming together. And they talk 20v1. It's 20 versus a fanatical Drake is Homelander. It's 20v1. It's 20 nations versus a rogue state. It's 20v1. Yeah, it's 20 nations versus one state that's maniacal, and they're killing their quote unquote Muslim population and committing genocide. So yeah, it is a 20v1 because they gotta be stopped, right? And y'all claim that y'all know what the hell is going on at the embassy, or you claim to know what the hell is going on in Toronto, but you don't know what the fuck they doing over there. You don't know if they need to be stopped. You don't know if they need to be slowed down. You don't know what the fuck. You only know what you've been told. And what I'm being told is, yeah, this shit needs to come to an end. Right? So the weekend pledges $2 million to provide 18 loaves of bread, right? Manna from the sky, right? Why is he feeding Palestinians and DJ Khaled is not? What the fuck? Why is the weekend feeding Palestinians? He is quote unquote a Falasha Jew. He's an Ethiopian Jew. They are in Israel fighting and they're in the Israeli army. So why is he rocking with Palestine and not the place where the Holy Land is? What is that about? Unless it's not so holy. Unless it's not so holy. Why would he go to Israel? Why wouldn't he be in Israel feeding the IDF? Why Why are you feeding the Palestinians? You know why? Because his heart is good. Not to say that this man is perfect. I don't know him. But I do know that this man and people who move like that, they are looking beyond the quote unquote, they're looking past the fear tactics that the record label, because the record label is like, yo, you can't send no money to Palestine if you work at a Jewish record label. Can't do that. They like, you're gonna send your money to our people. I'll be damned if our people know that you work for us and you sending money to the ops. They'll tell us to get rid of you. So they warn the artists that's career suicide. If y'all do that, my shareholders, they're gonna make me fire you. They're gonna make us drop you from the label. Things are gonna become uncomfortable for you as an artist. So it's soft shoe intimidation, and then the artist be like, you know what? I ain't gonna do it. As a matter of fact, tell my financial advisor to send some money to Israel and we'll just keep it cute. You know what I mean? And that's how they basically extort these artists. That's how they extort the athletes. That's how they extort rappers and actors and actresses in Hollywood. That's how they extort that these athletes have owners that are gooish, right? And these owners and these general managers, they tell the athletes, now, I know you want to send that money over there, but I don't think that's what you want to do. You might want to put your money over here in this war stock because low key is going to bring you a better return. That's what they do. And then that's what they do. So this is the Wikipedia for our good friends over at XO Records. XO is a Canadian record label founded by the singer The Weeknd, his managers Wasim Slaby and Amir Cash Esmalian, and his creative director Lamar Taylor. Right? He's also Slaby is the CEO. Right? They're distributed through Universal Records. Lucian, right? Lucian owns them. The label current acts are The Weeknd, Belly, and Nav, right? These are all like in the Moorish paradigm, all of them would be there. Belly's name is Ahmad, right? He is a Palestinian Canadian rapper. So there you have it, right? Here he's a Palestinian. Belly is from Palestine. Nav, right? He's from Canada too, right? He produced back to back for Drake, and he got his own wave and whatnot. So Nav would also be in the Iberian Peninsula with the Moors. He looks like a Berber. He looks like one of those Berber Moors, not the African Moors, but the Berber Moors, the Arab Moors, right? The Weeknd would have been over there. He would have been royalty as well. So these things are still here, right? Look how they all look. Remember, I was telling you with Drake, with that facial hair and that archetype, they all have the similar archetype. It's like a North African, archetype. Okay. So that's The Weeknd for people that are not familiar with him. The Weeknd is an Ethiopian Jew. He is an Ethiopian Falashian Jew. He is what they call Beta Israel. Let's look up Beta Israel, right? So we know the difference between him and Drake, right? Beta Israel, right? So we'll know if this is this conflict. This is who Drake keeps going after, right? He keeps focusing on The Weeknd. He keeps rapping to The Weeknd. He's supposed to be fighting Kendrick, but he's moving his fight over to Cash XO and Abel, right? His name is Abel. Weeknd's name is Abel. So who is Cain? Weeknd's name is Abel. So who is Cain? I mean, this thing is writing itself. Who would be Cain? So why does he keep attacking the Ethiopian Jew, right? Why is he so hung up on trying to get after this. Why did the first violence was against the Ethiopian Jew sent out, right, by a Zionist, and nobody said nothing. Nobody, y'all don't. That's why I said old media. What's going on? Is it me? Are y'all too busy and whatnot? What's going on? Y'all can't talk about these things. Oh, that's what it is. All right, I get it. Conscious media. What's happening? Oh no. Oh, we're okay. Oh, them checks from YouTube. Oh, that's that. Who owns that? Oh, liar. Oh, damn. House of Israel. Better Israel. Jews of Ethiopian origin. Their beginnings are obscure and possibly polygenetic. The Better Israel, meaning what? House of Israel, themselves claim descendant from Menelik, traditionally the son of Queen of Sheba and King Solomon, right? That's who the weekend in them is from. You understand? That's the conflict of interest right there. That's who the weekend in them could claim ancestry from. That's when you get with a Rastafarian, right? That's why the Beckys is on the Rastafarian so heavy. Are you? Oh, really? Are you from Israel? Better Israel? Oh my goodness! Like they're gonna want to breed you, right? They're gonna want to breed you, right? So then you get the Rastafarians, or you get Selassie, right? Coming up out of whatchamacallit, out of Ethiopia, right? Boom. So I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna show you the tie with American Gods with the Queen of Sheba, right? So we just showed you that this bloodline comes from Beta Israel, derived from remember, it is a union, right? It's a privilege, right? It's a hold on. So Queen of Sheba, it's not a privilege, it's a conjoining marriage and whatnot. The conjoining of the two bloodlines create this house of Israel, right? So Queen Sheba in her womb is sacred, right? Queen Sheba in her womb, because she birthed what they know as the chosen people. That's important. That woman, her name and what she represents has to be sacred. Let me tell you how they desecrated her, right? This is how knowing about history helps, because they do their magic through media. They do their magic through their TV shows. They do their magic through their movies, as you should, as you would if you could, right? That's how they do their work. They do their work. Their magic work is through Hollywood, the Hollywood. So they took Queen Sheba and they put her in a TV show, American Gods, and they renamed her Bilquis, and they made her a whore. They made her a whore. They made her the whore of Babylon, to the point where she swallows men in her yoni and whatnot. They made her a homeless woman. They made her a whore. They made her the archetype of women online twerking. Let's watch this real quick. Let's listen to this.
Once upon a time, there was a queen. She had it all the glory, the power. Worshippers eager to give and grateful to receive. Why?
Let me
Because
know
she
if
was
y'all
the
can hear
gift
that
of the
good.
gift, the blessing of the blessings hers to bestow. Her place of worship, oh, that was the place to be. It was good times. Kings didn't like that. Kings came one after the other to knock her off her throne, but they didn't last long. When the queen was done with you, you were gone. Worst ways to go, but the kings, they kept coming after her. The queen's power, which is the power of all women, the power of rebirth and creation. It makes some men kneel in awe and give gifts, but it makes other men angry. Do you know it? Anger gets stuff done. Or Nancy said something close to that about the character Bilquis in American Gods. And Bilquis is known to most of history as the Queen of Sheba. The stories of the Queen of Sheba have undergone extensive elaborations across different cultures, from the Jews, Islam, and Ethiopia as time's gone on. And she has also become the subject of one of the most widespread fertility legends in the Orient. But is she the character we see on American Gods? Or is there more to her magic than meets the eye? So welcome to the story of the Queen of Sheba, and welcome to Creckenfold. The Queen of Sheba has seen many myths and legends spawn from her reputation as a beautiful, rich, and sometimes magical queen. Queen desired by kings, and this may be the reason so many stories have been seeded about her. And within the story of American Gods, look to see if many of these myths have been combined to make the character of Bilquis. So let's pull back these layers, these stories, to see if we can find out what her powers were, the real story behind the Queen of Sheba. The first and therefore oldest mention of the Queen of Sheba in the historical record is within the Hebrew Bible, where her name is never stated. She is mentioned with respect to her visit to King Solomon, and this is written in the Book of Kings and Chronicles too, where it is said she brought with her gold, precious stones, and abundance of spices to give to the king. Now, King Solomon is said to have reigned from 970 BCE to 931 BCE, and so this provides our first clue of when to look for her in history. But just because it is in the Bible doesn't mean this event happened, or that there was even a Queen of Sheba, or even a King Solomon. And to emphasize this, we know that the books of Kings was written around the middle of the 6th century BCE, and Chronicles 2 was written in the 5th century BCE. And this is because of the language used and the lack of mention of the fall of the Babylonian Empire within those books. Now, with the story of Sheba being written almost 500 years after her appearance, there is bound to be a little digression from the truth. And this is something we see in stories all the time. However, it's also said by Hebrew scholars in the Talmud, which is the Hebrew Bible, when mentioning the Queen of Sheba, that it was actually referring to the land of Sheba rather than an actual queen. And so this casts further doubt on her existence. But we do have some dates to help us track her down and clues to her kingdom's resources. So with these clues, if there is an historical Queen of Sheba, we should look to find out where the queen could have come from, as there aren't any geographic clues to where Sheba is within the biblical writings, but it could be referring to a real place. Well, scholars generally identify Sheba as a real kingdom, known as the Kingdom of Saba, which is in modern-day Yemen in Arabia, and it's centered around an oasis of Marib. Now, the kingdom had fame for deeds of love
Yemen.
and
That's
consensual
where
mutual trust, and this may have helped
the
encourage the use
Houthis are
of
from.
these an abundance of spices that was in the text of the Chronicles. So, hinting at what could have been brought from the region of Saba to King Solomon.
Like I say, this Sunday we'll go over more about what you're hearing. That is a Patreon only class that we're doing. However, we are selling tickets. There's people who've been hitting me up on Instagram. They want to get into Sunday's class. So I talked to my team and we are offering tickets. The ticket for Sunday's class will be $44. It's going to go 3 to 4 hours and it will be available forever on replay. You get access to it. I'm doing a lot of research right now. Rumor has it that Drake's supposed to be dropping tonight. If Drake does not drop tonight, they are going to be calling it quote unquote for the winner for Kendrick. Kendrick has his finger on the button, I'm hearing. They're waiting to see if Drake is going to drop tonight. If he does not drop tonight, it's basically him conceding, saying that he doesn't want to go to war anymore, and it'll be over. Theoretically, it's already over in my book. It's a wrap. Kendrick is the winner. It's what we are focusing on right now is the transition, the changing of the guard. Okay, the transition is called the changing of the guard. Old media, they are now going to be replaced with a new group of platforms, new personalities. These personalities aren't even known yet. They're in the audience. They haven't made themselves known. That is why DJ Academics is melting down. That is why, quote unquote, these podcasts that were on the wrong side of history, they're nervous. You might not know it or not, but they are. Madison Avenue in New York City, they're nervous. They're beginning to pivot into a quote unquote pro Kendrick conversation, right? But they have to do their research because Kendrick Lamar is an anomaly, right? They don't have a high enough frequency at ESPN, at XXL, at Complex to even entertain a Kendrick Lamar or people of his ilk. They don't have that. They succeeded with dumbing down the culture so much that they could hire their little cousin and whatnot from the Poconos to come and work at Complex and run a hip hop department because all they got to do is report on women selling their private parts and niggas snapping their fingers and sipping on drugs. You don't have to be that educated. You don't have to be that culturated. You don't have to be that well versed to satisfy that. That is why the industry is being run by the third generation of these children and whatnot, of these owners and these execs. They're hiring college kids that don't have a lot of wherewithal. But you don't need wherewithal when you're running a racket. This is what they're running. You know what I mean? You don't need that much when you're running a racket, and the shit is basically cut and dry. It's like, yo, we're gonna buy views, we're gonna buy likes, we're going to buy the DJ payola, we're gonna buy a marketing campaign through Meta, we're gonna buy an influencer, we're gonna buy an album review, we're going to buy a first reaction video. We're going to buy a TikTok. We're going to buy some followers. That's what they out there doing. You know? So Charlemagne is done. GJ Academics is done. Vlad TV is done. And Adam 22 is done, right? Adam 22 is done. All of these old, quote unquote, platforms that was pushing the deaf culture, right? They got to go. They got to go. They got to go. You dig? Got to go. Don't need them. They had the audacity. They had the caucasity to say there needs to be a ceasefire in the Kendrick and Drake beef, but they never called the ceasefire in Gaza, right? Look. Do you know I got an order for 100 shirts? Huh? Do you know I got an order for 100 shirts from the college campus in Georgia? Do you know I got 100? I got an order for 100 shirts, right? This is called Make Gaza Great Again. This is one of the biggest selling shirts I have this year and whatnot. This has been going. This shirt took a life of its own. This design and everything, This has taken a life of its own. I'm wearing a t-shirt right here, right? So tomorrow, right? You see the design on the back? Make Gaza great again. I'm walking through a campus, right? I'm walking through the campus. I already did a meditation, and the meditation told me what was gonna happen. The meditation told me what was gonna happen. The meditation said, do not go on the campus on some as a reporter. Don't go on the campus as a protester. Don't even go to start any trouble. They said go and give out some shit, right? I go on Georgia State campus. I don't see too many things going. I go over to Emory. I see some things popping. I give out a few shirts. I ask somebody, you know, I first I gotta ask them, will you wear this? You know what I mean? Because I'm not, you know, I'm trying to give. I see what y'all doing. I respect what y'all doing. I just want to give. I just want to be able to give something. I don't have nothing to give, but I got these shirts and whatnot. They like, cool, boom. One of the students, a white girl, she put on a shirt. Her friend go live. She happens to go viral because she was already famous. She was one of those popular girls and whatnot. Boom. I get an order for 100 shirts, right? But the way that I'm feeling, yeah, I'm going to go fulfill the order for the 100 shirts, but I also want to give out 100 shirts. You understand? I don't just want to sell 100 shirts. I want to give 100 shirts out. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, that's what this energy that we're in right now. This is the energy is about how can I help you help what you doing, right? Metro Boomin got beef with Drake. He said, you know what? I'm gonna put out a beat and I'm gonna let all y'all rap on it. It's called BBL Drake and whatnot. I'm using how can I help you help me, right? So he did that. Kendrick Lamar, his songs is going crazy. He knows the YouTube creators are covering them. What did he do? He took the copyright off of the videos, so now we could get paid when we do the review on Kendrick Lamar. Because somebody was like, "I hope you getting paid for this." Why are you worrying about what I'm doing? First of all, I don't go to your job and say, "I hope you getting paid for it." You know what I'm talking about? Why do people always worry about what the fuck you getting paid for when they should be worried about what they're getting paid for? And I'm not doing this to get paid anyway. This doesn't, you know what I mean? This is not an income stream. This right here is this is the shit that I like. This is what I like doing. You know what I mean? I do shit that is considered work, but it ain't this. This is extra credit, my nigga. I catch the body for free. You know what I'm talking about? I'll catch the body for free. You know what I mean? And to show you that there's chinks in the armor, here you go. Here's the first chink. If you needed anything to show you that the shit is falling, let me explain something to you about this man right here and his ego, right? And why I'm saying what I'm saying with so much confidence, right? He would have never did this in a Drake environment. The Drake era is over. It is done. It's finished. That sun has set. You're just living in the shadow of it. You might not realize it because, look, niggas didn't realize that they was free from slavery for 2 years. How about that? How about people don't be realizing what's happening until later on? It's all perspective. It all is perspective. It's vantage point. It's really about where are you standing in this shit. Where I'm standing at is a little bit different than where everybody else might be standing. But where I'm standing, I see the forest for the trees. I know that it's over. I know that he would never have did this in a Drake environment. I know that there was a regime change because he tucked his tail and he offered a pathetic apology. That pathetic apology is going to backfire on him. He's done. He's done. His they all done at the same time. This shit was like a Thanos snap what Kendrick did, bro. It was genius. Kanye West started it. The KKK started it. Kanye, Kyrie, and Kendrick, right? They started it, but somebody else gonna finish it. But they definitely kicked it off. They kicked it off. And people are not gonna realize what it is until the shit is over. So I'm talking through music. I learned a lot this weekend, y'all. I learned a lot. We're actually going to put out our book. We're gonna reissue the 48 Pillars of Power through the lens of this battle. And I got merch coming. I'm not playing with these niggas. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to the campus. I'm giving out these shirts and whatnot. And I'm getting right back to what I'm doing. And it involves taking a cultural moment. This is a cultural moment and doing everything in my power to get the most out of it. Right? Because why wouldn't I? This is hip hop and I am hip hop. I own hip hop. I got to take my power back. I'm not going to allow the Rolling Stones. I'm not going to let Adam 22. I'm not going to let nobody that don't look like me talk about my culture and my art form and benefit off of it. And I don't. No, we're not doing that. We're taking Vlad and we're taking his ass to the cleaners. His reign at the top was short like leprechauns, but it is over. Make no mistake about it. The only way he could have salvaged his career is if he was riding with Kendrick from the beginning and standing on business. And he ain't stand on business. Charlemagne didn't stand on business. Gilly and Wallow didn't stand on business, right? Mace and Cameron, initially, they didn't stand on business, and then they came around and they fixed it. DJ Academics, we already know what that is. Kai Sinet, he played neutral and he bought himself a way in, and he also bought himself some time. So he's not canceled. He's not canceled. Aiden Ross, Drake Stan, he might be canceled. Right? Definitely DJ Vlad hates Kendrick. They don't like anybody from Ethiopian descent. Kendrick is not even considered Better Israel. You got Better Israel. I'm talking about a real Jew, a full-blooded one. And then you got Kendrick, who is a Hebrew Israelite, who is the Lost Tribes. That's a double whammy. That's a double whammy to these people. Yeah, I might not realize it, but that's a double whammy to these people. They don't like that. They don't like that. Check this out. And you may think that it's all peachy and cream over there with the Ethiopians, and they got drama all the way over there. They don't rock with them people, and they living amongst them right there. Here you go. Here you go. So yeah, Glow. So they done did the same thing that they George Floyded somebody over there. They George Floyded somebody over there, right? And they had to burn that bitch down. They've been protesting, you know what I mean? They've been protesting, they've been acting up, they've been being unruly and whatnot. They was unruly. There was a big protest over there for what they did to, you know, they used a ritual that was a sacrifice. You know what I mean? As a sacrifice. So they got problems with them people over there as well. Even though they over there, they already know what it is. You know what I mean? And Vlad and them don't like them people. You know what I'm saying? They don't like them people. They using them people, but they don't like them people. So they don't like the Weeknd. They don't like Amir. You know what I mean? They don't like them. And I know why. I know why. So check this out. So the whole time, right, in France, right, the whole time of 2023, right, why don't they talk about this on Vlad and Adam 22, right? France got pushed out of Africa. They got ran out of Africa. Okay, there's a revolution going on in Africa. So the energy that you seeing right now in hip hop, where you'll be like, man, there ain't no revolution in hip hop. Red pill, them niggas be reaching and whatnot. They always want something to happen with the 44 and the 44 and that. And I would say to you, yeah, there's not only a revolution in hip hop, there's a revolution around the world. Hip hop is almost the last one to basically tap in to said revolution. It's about time that hip hop stood on something, but that is going on all around the world. It's not isolated to America. They wilding in Africa. They pushing the French out. They on revolution time in Africa. They're not reporting it over here, and they're siding with Russia every turn they get. They rocking with Russia and Vladimir Putin and whatnot. Vladimir Putin is out here showing melanated people that there's a black what Coptic what Christ what looking like who, looking just like Abel, right? Looking just like the Weekend and whatnot. That's what Vladimir Putin is in Africa, showing Africans pictures of Abel, the Weekend, uh, the Black Christos and whatnot, right? The Nagast. Vladimir Putin is over there in Africa showing them pictures of Christ-like figures that look like the Weekend. You dig? You dig? That's what's going on. So the first person to shed blood in this whole situation was an Ethiopian Jew. Do not let that get over your head. Don't let nobody run with no narrative and your ass sitting around knowing shit and you don't say nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Don't do that. Go and do your fucking research and have your receipts so you don't let these conversations go with a fuck into the most dumbest places that you could put a conversation. This is all knuckle dragger 85er rhetoric. You don't belong in places where they're talking like that. It's gonna make that's gonna leave you compromised. It'll poke holes in your aura. The man, when you in the room, you could take over the conversation, but don't try to take them to the highest of the heights and leave people there. You know, control the pace. Control the pace. But get these people a historic narrative, because this is all about history. This is all historic. We're living in a time where the revelations is here. So how can't shit be historic? We're living in a time where they're about to kill the three red heifers in Jerusalem. How is it not historic? We're living in a time where you could go in one of these holy books and whatnot. Man, the big three, motherfuck the big three. It's just big me. Right? You got people that have the three religions. Motherfuck the big three. It's just big me. And now they realize that they bigger than the religions, not in an egotistical type of way, just in a logical sense that, yo, it was never outside of me. It was always big me. Big me. You lived your whole life and you was giving it up to the big three, and it was really big me the whole time. You are the big three. The big three is you. This whole thing got to come down. Media has to change. Media has to change, you know. The media has to change. The class that we'll be doing on Sunday, it's going to be spectacular. I look forward to seeing a lot more people in the building than I saw last Sunday. We doing heavy research. I'm not playing with this shit. I'm going deep diving. You know, I'm digging, I'm digging in, I'm digging in, I'm digging in. You know, why not? You only get to teach once, right? You only get to teach once. So there was a video that I saw on Instagram where there was a teacher, a European lady, and the teacher was like, "Yo, in my class or in my school, you know, there's a lot of children that used to be Drake. They were into Drake. She called it a Drake school. What does that mean? That means that these rappers, their sound and their influence is what's running schools, right? These schools, they have influence over the children, right? And certain artists, based off of how big they are, they could control the environment of the entire school. Easy. You know what I mean? They'll have certain kids talking a certain type of way, walking a certain type of way, stalking a certain type of way, you know, all that type shit. You know what I mean? What would Jigga do? What would this person do? What would that person do? That's what I mean. The influence that these rappers have that are quote unquote unparalleled to any influence that anybody else has. Nobody else has this influence. I mean, the goddamn parents surely don't. No disrespect to any parents, but you don't got other children looking up to you and repeating and reciting your words and wanting to dress like you and want to talk like you and all of that. Nah, a lot of parents don't have that. That is reserved to the rappers and maybe some of the athletes, right? So it's important to, you know, when you know that, then you should be wanting to influence the rappers. Because if you could influence the rappers, then you could help save these children. And it's either influence the rappers or break these rappers down, right, to the very last compound, to whereas your superpowers are being neutralized. That's what you may have to do sometimes. You might have to neutralize some of these people. You might have to put kryptonite on them. You might have to strip them down and read them and whatnot. You might have to expose them. You might have to decode them. You might have to unpack them, right? And then pack them back up. Because sometimes and it's a very tricky thing because exposing somebody in the era of voyeurism, exposing somebody in the era where men will they don't they'll look at you're not going to shock anybody. You're exposing people and making them more famous because we don't live in the days back. You can't shame people by exposing them. You expose somebody, you're just going to create a niche of people who are going to be following. There's no such thing as good as or bad on the internet. People don't realize that. They don't have the same moral compass on the internet that they have in the real world. You've seen that on many occasions. People rally behind mass murderers, serial murderers, scammers, you name it. You name it. The shooters got famous on the internet. You know what I'm talking about? Killers, serial killers. You know what I mean? You name it. They love that shit. One of the most biggest genres on the internet is true crime. True crime. In the podcast world, on Patreon, on Spotify, true crime. Motherfuckers on Netflix, they want to see the body. They want to hear about the murder. They want to meet the killer, right? Question: how many people this out there have noticed an uptick in decapitations and dismemberments? How many people, right, out there have noticed an uptick in dismembering and decapitations, right, of victims. When I was coming up, if it was taking place or if it was happening, we didn't know a lot about it. We didn't hear about shit like that. But nowadays, every other day, there's a story about somebody being found in a freezer or a refrigerator or in storage, and they getting chopped up. Where does that come from? Netflix. Before Jeffrey Dahmer, way before Jeffrey Dahmer, they were seeding, they were dropping seeds and whatnot. They were like CSI, the movie, the TV show CSI. I remember I'm browsing on the channels and everything, and I come across CSI, and they're doing the autopsy. It's like 8 p.m. on CBS. So I'm just like, wow, they've upped the ante and whatnot. They're exposing average quote unquote viewership to macabre things, right? To cadavers, real life cadavers. And they're saying, you know, this is in the name of science. And no, this is in the name of dehumanization. This is in the name of depravity, demoralization of a people. You desensitize people. So now when we'll see an article about somebody being decapitated or dismembered, and we just be like, yeah, so what about the Knicks last night? Did you versus when I was coming up, a story like that, the whole world would have stopped. It would have stopped, yo. But now they are normalizing shit like that. You know what I mean? That's a new quote unquote fetish that people. That's a new depravity, right? Because you could tell the mental health of a community based off of how they kill, right? The level of depravity, how far down the rabbit hole are the dregs of that society going. Fuck with the niggas on the surface that's wearing a mask, fronting every day, out here wearing a fake face, and fuck them. What is the dregs of society? What are their bottom feeders? You know what I mean? What's the lowest rung of them doing? What they up to? Because that's gonna give you a glimpse of how far the ones that sit on the pedestals are gonna fall eventually. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. I gotta say that. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. I wish I could sit up here for 8 hours and talk to y'all. I would do that. I would do that. I wish I could, because there's a lot to talk about. You know? Somebody asked the cash app is right there. Cash app Richfield. If anybody want to match what we doing, matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, if anybody want to match this, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving out 100 t-shirts. I want to give out, I'm not giving out 100. This is transparency. I made a sale. I wasn't intentionally trying to either. I was giving out some shit. Somebody put something on. You know what I mean? Her little network, they ordered 100 shirts, right? So I'm going to give it to them. Boom. But when I bring the order, I want to also give out 100 shirts. So if there's anybody that want to match, I already put $500 up. If anybody want to match that, so I could go and do that, then that would be honorable. Because like I said, the least that I could do, I'm not standing on no campus protesting. I ain't doing that. I'm not spending the night in the tent. I ain't doing that. That's not for me. You know what I'm talking about? But I support what they're doing. I support what they're doing. I get it. You know what I mean? I had a conversation with one of the students and whatnot, and they're very knowledgeable about what the hell is going on. Don't let the media fool you about the campus protest, because they understand what they know the stakes are high, and they are deep diving. They understand many different nuances about where the money is going. So this is the future of America. America is in trouble. America is in trouble. America is in trouble. The USA is in trouble. It's too many different intersections that are going to eventually meet, and it's a powder keg. So I would honor anyone, anyone who's on the front line attempting to quote unquote control this shit from falling to pieces and whatnot. Or while it's falling apart, you basically the torch of light that people are able to make their way through that darkness to see a safer way out. That's what I'm here for. I'm just the light to help people see these 3 days of darkness, this darkness that's falling upon the nation, our people, the world for that matter. There's a darkness that's descending on this motherfucker. But it's nothing wrong with the dark, yo. There's nothing wrong with the dark whatsoever. Oh man, thank you. I see the supporters. I appreciate all of the people that support what it is that we do, you know what I mean, and how we do it, you know what I mean, and the fact that y'all know that y'all are important, and you know, and we don't. There's y'all, and that's you know what I mean. It's the people, you know what I'm talking about, and that's what I want to keep it with. I want to keep it with the people. You don't ever want no middleman, because when there's a middleman, you're gonna get compromised eventually. Somebody got their goddamn hand up your motherfucking up your back. They got strings attached to you. I don't want no middleman. I don't want no banks in the middle of me. I don't want no non-for-profits in the middle of me. I don't want no Becky's. I don't want no you know, I don't want that. I don't want that. They could debilitate you. I've seen it happen on many occasions. Motherfuckers get people to get in the middle of them. Next thing you know, they got you on a string, telling you what you can't say, telling you don't put that out right now. Don't say that right now. Just you know, stand down. You know, putting gag orders on you because they out here helping you out with your expenses and the things that you are doing on the front line. I don't need that control. Fuck that shit. That's whack. That's whack. Let's build our own media empires and make wealth off of media. Let's build peace of the God. Let's build our own media empires and get wealthy off of our media. That's not a stretch. You know what I mean? You could get very wealthy off of broadcast television, broadcast channels. Take your story back, take your narrative back. If nothing else, this weekend showed you that the culture is still profitable. And I ain't talking about money, I'm talking about energy. Fuck money. Money gets spent. Energy don't die. I'm talking about the galvanizing of the energy. The energy creates the currency. Don't worry about the currency is a residue. It's a byproduct. Stop being so thirsty. Stop being so desperate. Focus on the energy. Get the energy up. You understand? These men are this man Kendrick. Fuck these men. Drake played his part as the protagonist and the antagonist. Drake played his part because he's such a big sacrifice. Drake played his part because he willingly got up there and put himself on the stage and whatnot to be sacrificed. So he is an honorable, quote unquote, sacrifice. He is an honorable sacrifice. But the fact that he was a king, an emperor with no clothes, he was not a real T'Challa. He was not a real T'Challa. Thank you, Coy, for the support. I appreciate you, Coy. And I will have video footage when we go to the campus and we do the giveaway and everything, and we see the faces of our, because they got some beautiful young sisters, right? That's why I would never turn my back, even if this is a government operation that's going on the campuses. And my spider senses is telling me Soros is giving psyop, is definitely giving a level of psyopington. You know what I mean? It's kind of psyopy, but they got our sisters on these campuses inside of those tents. More sisters than brothers I've seen, right? They got young, beautiful impressionable sisters who just want people around the world to practice peace. That's what I was getting from them. That's their auras. They sitting in for the name of peace, and they're getting pepper sprayed. They're getting stepped on and whatnot. They're getting dragged by their feet and whatnot. They're getting quote unquote expelled. They're getting suspended. They're getting targeted. So what does Richfield want to do? I want to put a smile on their face. So I want to give them something free. I don't want to sell them nothing. I don't want to sell them nothing. I want to give them water. I want to give them some goddamn some dip with some chips. Here, let's eat. Let's have a picnic. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna give them some boy shorts and some t-shirts. You know, courtesy of KTL and ATL gang. You know what I mean? That's gonna make my heart feel better. So one of the things that I also learned from this battle and whatnot is, you know, we got to do what works for us. You got to do what make you happy. You got to do what feeds just because people's souls be starved and whatnot. This battle fed my soul. This shit filled me up like a tank. I did have battle rap fatigue, but I've been watching battle rap forever, so I prepared myself for this. You know what I mean? I woke up with a little bit of battle rap fatigue, and then I shook that shit off, and I was like, you know what I mean? And then they shot up Drake's house, and I was back on it. Listen, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing what works for me. You know what I mean? I like talking about the culture. I like talking about the music. I like a good rap beef. I like to dissect the lyrics because I'm not a lazy journalist. I like to read the lyrics. I like to dissect the lyrics. That's what I would do in a barbershop. That's just me. I'm a barbershopper type of person. I talk shit. I talk crazy. I'm going to call you all kind of words. I'm going to joke on you. I'm going to clown on you. I'm going to intimidate you. But I'm going to also invigorate you. I'm on my Brooklyn shit. And whenever I talk about something that I am passionate about, I give it I get in my Brooklyn mode, and I'm in character. And if anybody don't know what that's about, you never had a big brother, or you never have an uncle, you didn't have your father in your life. Well, you could basically tap into that energy by just tapping into whatever we do. Because I'm going to authentically be me. Because I ain't trying to be like nobody else. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm not going to let nobody restrict me or try to, because we shifted from the barbershop to the internet. I ain't in the barbershop talking like this no more, by the way. When I get my hair cut, I done leveled up in life, so I don't even go to a barbershop. You know what I mean? And my shit is in the house. But I'm taking my barbershop talk to the internet. That's when I go live. That's when I talk my shit. People be on my Instagram page taking shit serious. And I'm like, fam, what do you like? Why are you on my Instagram page taking what nigga, this is the digital barbershop. It's called Instagram. I don't fucking know you. If you was in a barbershop getting a shape up and we was talking crazy and whatnot, nigga, I don't know you. You just in a barbershop with me. I don't know you on the internet. So why you think I'm gonna talk to you like I know you? That don't what sense do that make, bro? I'm in the barbershop, nigga. I'm talking my shit. I don't care about who the fuck is in the barbershop. I'm in the barbershop. And I'm talking my talk. That's how I be on social media. I don't know how y'all move, but I'm not on social media trying to make friends. But I ain't on the social media trying to make enemies either. I'm on social media expressing myself. I'm having engagement. I know I'm putting articles up that's gonna make people talk. Because why would I put something up that's not gonna make people talk? Why the fuck would I put it up in the first place? I got better things to do with that 1 minute that it took to do all of that. No, I want to see what people are thinking. I'm media. People be forgetting. Oh, Red Pill. Who the fuck do you see when you looking at me? Like, I'm Peter Parker, nigga. I am Peter Parker. I'm Clark Kent. This is my day job. I'm the media, bro. Ever since you niggas met me, I was juggling jobs. I was selling clothes, but I'm also the media. That's my day job. That's what I do. I'm a journalist. I've been telling niggas the news since they met me, bro. There ain't been one day where I ain't put somebody on to something. Yo, and it wasn't no gossip either. It was real fucking facts. Real fucking news. Real blues clues. And you get a little bit of gossip on the side. But that's what I do. I point people in a direction and give them the directions, not just the news, instructions, methods, formulas, ways of seeing things. Game. I'm out here pitching pearls, my nigga. That's what I do. So if anybody come along like, damn, Red, you and your brother, you know, y'all doing what y'all do a lot. Thank you. That's a fucking compliment. What the fuck do you do? I don't come into Five Guys and tell you about how many onions you niggas is putting on the burgers and whatnot. I don't interrupt your fucking job at the gas station when you niggas is filling up the pump. So how the hell you gonna come at my job? This is my job. This is what I do. And it's almost like community service because it ain't even a paying job. I'm a fucking intern. Nigga, I'm an intern. But I like doing what I'm doing. I like doing what the fuck I'm doing. I'm good with it. I'm good on it. You know what I mean? I'll deal with the ramifications of being an intern when I get to it. But this is what I do. And I do it like I'm doing it for TV. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it like I'm doing it for TV. You know? Against all odds. They hate me at Meta / Facebook. They hate my guts. They hate me at Google, Alphabet. They hate me at X, Twitter. They don't like me. They can't stand me, bro. For real, for real. And I understand why. Because niggas be lighting fire on their asses forever. We've been turning up on them for the longest. And we're not gonna play fair. And the way these people play, from you've seen how they play. They don't play, they don't lose well. They are not good losers. Right? Who's noticed that? They do not like to lose. They do not like to lose. I don't either. You know? I told people, I say, yo, when Drake starts to lose, they're gonna start having shootouts. You know? I said when Drake start losing, they're gonna have a shootout. And people was like, what you mean? I was like, man, I know how his people are. If you back them into a corner, they'll create a false flag event to distract you and have you shed tears for them. They'll go the sympathy route. He's trying to get empathy and sympathy. I think he shot his own goddamn security guard. You know, he got enough power to order a hit on his own people. You feel me? What if the security guard was the mole? I was asking people that. What if they shot his ass inside the house and just made it look like a drive-by? You know what I mean? Who knows? All I'm saying is they set it off by shooting the Ethiopian first. And then they returned the favor and lit his mansion up and whatnot. So the chess play that's going on is that Drake is going to leave that house very soon, because who's going to stay in a house that got shot at? Right? The way that you play chess against a nigga is that you make him feel uncomfortable in the place where he's supposed to be the most comfortable, and that's his castle. Right? Once I take you about your castle and whatnot, right? So they sending shooters and they sending people to break into his house on a daily basis. But before you ladies go cry over your favorite lover boy and whatnot, just know that lover boy was outside playing with fire and his ass got burnt. He got burnt. Y'all be coddling these niggas like Jada Pinkett was coddling Trey and motherfucking and Menace to Society. What is that? Boys in the Hood. Y'all out here coddling these knuckleheads like Jada Pinkett was coddling. To stop coddling these niggas. you're gonna get whacked with them. You know what I mean? Stop coddling, or you're gonna be caught up right with them. There's no other way around it. But what if he paid for that shit to go down because now his place is taped off? They don't want to talk about the battle no more. They won't run in his house and searching for little children and whatnot. He's getting the sympathy vote. He's deflecting, and he's like, yeah, guys, I gotta go on vacation, right? Ah, man, it's shooting at my house, guys. I really gotta go. I would have wanted to hang out and fight, but they're shooting at my house. I can't do it. I have to go in the bunker, guys. I'm worth a lot of money. Adonis is calling, right? Adonis is calling. So he's out of here. He's packing it up. You will get no more from him. The shooting was the closing of the quote unquote. The shooting was the closing. It was the closing of the stage. It was stage left. He's a $1 billion entity. There's no way that his label is going to there's no way that his label is going to allow him to move on. Okay, that was Jada Pinkett with Kane in Menace to Society, and that was Nia Long in Boys in the Hood, where she was coddling Trey. She was coddling him like a little baby, you know what I'm saying, rubbing on his forehead because he was hurt, right? Thank you for that. But you understand what's taking place. Like, they get to say that the battle is over. He gets to hide out in his bunker and resurface as a reinvigorated victim. He's a scorpion, so scorpions reintroduce themselves. They redesign themselves. He'll come back as a newer version of Drake. No more BBL Drizzy. He'll come back with a new BBL, right? He'll come back with a new BBL. So this probably is the ending of that saga. The saga is going to end the way that it started, with Kendrick on top, right? It started with him on top because he was the one who took the first shot and liked that, and it ends with him with They Not Like Us. He's on top. I don't give a fuck. I don't even have to use profanity or even say anything because the tweets is watching and the streets is talking. And Drake lost. Drake and it's not just, oh, Drake lost and he could go back and he didn't lose. No, Drake lost hip hop. He got stripped, bro. He got stripped. He had too much to lose and he lost everything he had to lose. What you talking about? Like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia got the decision and whatnot, and come to find out Ryan Garcia was using performance enhancements, and they may take that win away from him and restore Devin to being undefeated, right? And they it wasn't a title bout, so Devin got a L, but he didn't lose his belt. Well, Drake was in a title bout. You see how Mike Tyson is fighting Jake Paul, and it's not a title bout? And then they switched it, and they was like, well, shit, it's not going to be exhibition no more. It's going to be professional. Drake started out, and it was an exhibition, and then became a title fight. You know how it's a title fight? Because the whole world is talking about it. If it was an exhibition fight, the whole world wouldn't be talking about it. That's when it was on mixtape levels. That's when only melanated people was talking about it. That's when it was contained. It became a title fight when old women, people around the world, they in Palestine, they in Rafah, that's being ran down upon, and they're committing genocide on those people. And guess what they was focusing on? Drake and Kendrick. You know? So all of the smart rappers, all of the righteous rappers, all of the rappers that use multi-syllables and syllabic. Now your turn is here. I don't hear you is on BBL Remix. Where are you? Right? Where is this community at? You know what I mean? But let me and my brother slip up, or let somebody do some fuck shit. You niggas come out of the fucking woodworks like termites. But where are you in this battle? Where the fuck are you? Why you not? Where's your remixes? Where's your memes at? Why you niggas not viral? Like, what does it take to get you outside? Like, what are we missing? You tell me. Just send me a kite or something. Let me know. Put me on because I'm willing to help. But where's the community at? Like, I need BBL Drizzy remixes. We got to take our rightful spot. The spot is prepared. It's been prepared for you. The shit has been returned to you. Kendrick returned the kingdom to you. This is a regime change. This is a coup d'etat. That reign on the top was short like the leprechaun. It's over. It is over. But it will come right back to its former self even stronger if you don't replace the frequency with a higher frequency. And when I'm talking about a high, I'm not talking about everybody got to collectively pray together, or no, you got to create some fucking product. You got to create, you can't do it just in thought alone. You got to create a catalog. You got to make products, whether it's clothing, songs, a movie, some jewelry. You got to create products. Create products out of this whole situation. Look, I'm not showing my hand and whatnot. I'm not about to do that, but I got some designs that's in the kitchen right now for some t-shirts that I'm gonna make. I'm taking advantage of this situation. I'm making products. My energy is invested in this. I'm making products. Why wouldn't I? I got the pack coming for the meet the grams. I made a whole week of strain. Like, what do you think I'm gonna do? You know what I mean? I'm sitting around playing games. Nah, nigga, I'm building. You know what I'm talking about? I'm building and I'm taking the pieces of the brick to build from all around me. That's the house that I'm building. It's the I wake up and I just pull the bricks off the wall and build my house. The bricks are given. Reality is the bricks. Yeah, where's the Holy Ghost music at? I know we did our mixtape right in time. So that's our product right there. We giving them lyrics. We giving them bars. We bringing bars back. We gonna give them visuals. So, I suggest y'all do that too. We're going to have a part 2. I'm going to bring some people from new media. I'm going to bring some people from old media. We might even have a debate about this shit. But old media was the biggest loser in the rap battle. It was shown they don't have a lot of history. They don't have context. They don't have cultural nuances. They didn't even know how to break down Kendrick's lyrics. These niggas are lame. Stop letting people who play video games become hip hop journalism. That ain't how it works. Stop letting these old ass, bird ass niggas who work for corporate America, they the glorified help. Stop making them the name and face of hip hop journalism. That don't work. Stop bringing entitled, sassy, aggressive, drug addicts and sissies to be the face and the voice of a culture that is not about sassy, aggressive, first generation Jamaicans like DJ Academics. Let him play video games, and I just want to end it on this: the nerve of him, the fucking nerve of him, and the nerve of all of you Poindexters, right? Like I said, it's no war on the blurs. I fuck with the blurs, but I take back all of the sentiments that I've ever shared about blurs running things. Nah, the blurs is always the blurs are like the incels and these niggas is running around with that fake ass red pill ideology. No, it's the misfits. The misfits is the niggas that make you niggas Drake is a blurred and Kendrick is a misfit. The misfits gotta sit you niggas down sometime because y'all be running out of control. Real talk. Y'all out of control. Y'all out of control. And y'all don't have no breaks. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all out of control. Y'all need to get talked to. You know, y'all need to get talked to. And y'all getting talked to. And it's the reason why hip hop was so out of control, the reason why hip hop was so loose, the reason why Young Thug was wearing dresses and all of the girls are selling their bodies and whatnot, and women are being disappeared and the rappers are being unalived is because the emperor had no clothes. The nigga that was sitting at the seat, he was a op. He was a poser and he wasn't about the culture. He did not understand the culture. He was a visitor. And we gave the reins to the kingdom to somebody that was a visitor. He gave us music. We gave him access. That access, he walked out of many different places with your women, right? Because anytime that outsider gets access, the same way when the conquistadors like Columbus and them came over here, the first thing that they had access to, they gave us something in exchange, and we gave them our most precious asset, and that's our women. So the women are gonna get, they're gonna have this summer. Hopefully, this summer we could take our women back, right? Hopefully, this summer we could stand up as men and become a better example about warriorhood, alpha, and divine masculinity. So our women will begin to quote unquote get in alignment with the things that we are in alignment. We got to straighten up our back because once they see us stand up, the same way that I know thoughts, right, who ready to stop thotting because of what they saw Kendrick Lamar do. Do you hear what I just said? I know thoughts that are ready to stop thotting just because they saw an example of an ass whooping from a real nigga. You know what I mean? They inspired and whatnot. They said they might even be turned on. They like, yo, Kendrick Lamar, I will listen to him. I would take orders from him. I will follow his lead. And I said, what about BBL Drizzy? There's like, that nigga can't lead me nowhere but to the motherfucking club or to get a BBL, right? They don't see him as a father figure. They don't see him as, he ain't that dude to them. They don't see him as, a coxman. They don't see him as a gallus. They don't see him as a general. They don't see him as a leader. They see him as one of their girls that they can have fun and drink with. You know what I'm talking about? He's not even in the friend zone. He's just one of the girls. And there's niggas out here who was under the impression that that's how you get close to the ladies, to be sassy like them. And I'm here to let you know on some unk shit. That's not it right there. So hopefully the younger generation gets snapped out of that spell that they was under, not just to be trolls and whatnot, but to take that trolling a little too far where you wind up waking up, you know what I mean, at Diddy's house. You know what I mean? Take that. P. Diddy started this shit and Drake picked it up and whatnot. So the great fall, niggas getting knocked out by Jake Paul. We back at this place. The next great fall is gonna have Drizzy on the cover. You feel me? It might be tomorrow. What's today? Wednesday? Yeah, I think Third Eye Thursday is gonna be the great fall with Drizzy on the cover. So it's been fun, ladies and gentlemen. For the ones that are supporting me with these shirts, appreciate y'all, man. Shit. This shit ain't easy, man. We out here doing things that nobody else is we want to do it with y'all if y'all out here doing it. Shoot. We ain't no competition. We actually, it's time to form Voltron, to be honest with you. This is really about form. This is Voltron time. So We all coming together and getting stronger. It's gonna be a beautiful summer. They set it up for us to win. I hope y'all are here when we out here. I want to, if I see you winning, I'm gonna pull up on you. If you see me winning, pull up on me. You know what I mean? That should be a commandment and a commitment that we make. Stop hating on your brothers. Definitely stop hating on your sisters. Stop trying to sabotage one another. Learn to work together. See the power in the collective and learn from everything that's going on around you. Learn. It's all a learn. It is all a learning moment. Don't get anxious. Don't get stressed out. Don't exert. Save your energy. Don't exert. For what? If you're gonna exert, go and get a blank canvas and draw something. If you're gonna exert, play the BBL Drizzy beat and write something. If you're gonna exert, go to the gym and push some weight. If you're gonna exert, right, do something that you could crystallize this moment, because this moment is not gonna be here forever. So when I look up a year from now, I got t-shirt designs from this moment. I got some artwork from this moment. I got some rhymes that I wrote from this moment. I am inspired right now. So I am going to capture lightning in a bottle. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write a long essay about old media being replaced by new media. I'm going to make my t-shirt designs. I'm going to also create this video essay. So I'm inspired. I'm working. I'm charged up. I'm in the building. You in the building. We in the building. And it is what it is. Love and light to my content creators. Love and light to my creative ones. Love and light to everybody who has been inspired by the works that we do and who is out here inspiring us to continue to do great works. Shout out to B Dell. Shout out to Black Magic. Shout out to Dane Calloway. These are some of the channels that have been feeding me and giving me inspiration over the past few days. Shout out to Conjure Queen, Urban X. There's a few others. If I forgot you, it's nothing personal. You feel me? You said come to Miami. Yo, Chamo, hit me up, man. Shit, you talking my language, bro. Hit me up, bro. I'm ready for that. Hit me the F up. I am ready to move. But yeah, all of y'all, it's lit. It's up. Don't miss your opportunity. This is all post solar eclipse, doorways, energy, charge. Don't let nobody trick you out of your bag. Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody talk down to you. Don't let nobody make you feel like this is not what it is. This shit is up and it's stuck and it's lit and it's gonna stay like that. Let's do the roll call before we exit stage left the right way, so we know who's in the building, and that's how we'll, you know what I mean? That's how we'll get up out of here by making it be, by stating it by stating it who's in the building and putting that shit on the record. You know what I mean? Because we was deep tonight. Make sure y'all subscribe, and I'm gonna be going live more. You feel me? I'm gonna be live more. If y'all are in a city and they have mass protests on the campus, holler at me. We could get you these shirts so you could get on these campuses and you could make somebody's day. That's the key. Make somebody's day. You make somebody smile, then you'll be blessed. The ancestors will reward you. All right. Canada in the building, Louisville in the building, Michigan in the building, Minnesota in the building. Let's make this an assignment. I want to make this a group assignment. You feel me? We could be giving together. I'll send you the artwork. You make the blanks, or I'll send you boxes of the shirts already made up, and you go and hand them shits out. Put on a GoPro camera, go live. You know what I mean? Go to the homeless, go to the whoever needs this. But I'm focused right now on the college students because make Gaza great again, right? You know what I mean? That's the slogan. Make Gaza great again, right? You know, you gotta make it great again. And when people be like, "Oh, I'm from Gaza," nigga, you're in Gaza. The fuck? Don't fool yourself. You're in Gaza, nigga. You're in an open air Gaza. They control your electricity. They control your lights. They control your food. They control your water. What are you talking about? Bridgeport is in the building. You know what I mean? New Hampshire, you fooling yourself. You don't think you in an open air prison? You don't think so? I do. Shout out to Ancient Homage in the building. I do. We got Ireland in the building, Boston in the building, NC in the building, 7 Mile in the building, Maryland in the building, North Oakland. You know what I mean? They not like us. Do that dance. We got Shreveport. Shreveport, 50 Cent has a 1,000,000 square mile production studio. Your whole city has now been resurrected. You could turn Shreveport into what California turned into with those movie studios. The whole city could be working for that studio if done right. Yeah, don't miss that opportunity. If you live in Shreveport, please find a way that you could level up because 50 Cent just made a hellified move out there with that production studio. 1,000,000 square feet. Do you know what the hell? You know what size that is, Brody? Oh, when in Rome for the Rome, Georgia. Facts, facts, facts. Yo, the Jet, you gotta pull up, man. You gotta get on my design team, man. We gotta make this. We gotta make some designs together, man. You came up with the Hawks design. That shit classic. You know what I'm talking about? We got it in the video, so I need you on the design team. I ain't gonna talk you to death. We're gonna leave you with Infinity Stones off the album. If y'all didn't hear the album, this is definitely music that you could listen to after you listen to BBL Drizzy. But because the frequency has been raised by Kendrick, this music is right on time. You would almost think that we made this shit that we tweaked it like this. But because the frequency has been raised, you couldn't hear our music when we was trying to the frequency wasn't raised. So it's hard to understand. But now go and listen to it. And I promise you, I shit you not, it will sound different than when you heard it 2 weeks ago because the frequency has raised. Remember, there's a regime change. The empire has fallen. The highest grip or one of the highest spells was in hip hop. The empire has fallen and the emperor has no clothes. Don't let that go over your head. The emperor has no clothes. You dig? You're really here to see that. So yeah, let's go. Before. It's that infinity. Oh.
million Lincolns just to free the slaves. The ships are sinking and it's still free to wave. Either way. Going to December. 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 Yo, the new member of Bricks, agenda was flipped. Viva Vendetta, all of my vendors is rich. See more script in the blend of this mix. More in the story, remember your gifts. Viva Vendetta, blood came through in the blood moon, dismember the Crips. Remember the sending the whip, extended the clip, dismember the blick. Remember the Titan, Coach Boone said to remember the Sifs. The Scorpion King, blood moons on November the 5th. Viva Vendetta, know y'all remember the flick. Know y'all remember the flick. Some weapons are swerving. 245, Infinity, roam through my entity zones. Yeah. These niggas taking in their buns like Kimberly Jones. Waving these guns at our enemies' dome. Max out my bid, now they sending me home. Glass on my wrist packed with plenty of stones. They jacking my fist, and plenty of clones. Who pretend to be friends of me, frenemies, in parentheses. Who tend to be convincing me the energy is chemistry. Whatever's meant to be is meant to be. Reality presents to me instantly the entities. Feel ecstasy for your sensory perception. They got a history of deception. Couple centuries under repressions. I'm the diamond deformed under all that compression. I'm Paul in the Western, the one in the Eastern is running the key firm. I got strong genes, they a weak germ, they need CERN. I open portals when I release sperm. People sort of venerate the feds cause they generate the bread. Dark mint, that's my whole generation dead. We tapped in the quantum realms. That's what the simulation said. They disseminating imitation meds. Placebo effect, they disseminating imitation reds. I was on the road to the riches. Right off the interstate we sped. You niggas haven't been in date with Feds and Smith and Walensky. Like we're ciphering Agent Smith B. They sold us out for steak and chips in a trip in the Bentley. Then to be assed out like pasa pasa. And they're making chips is dripping in Fenty. Yeah, these slutty vegans, they be on impossible. Faking bitch, you niggas faking shit. Y'all was never really plugged in, y'all on some Quaker shit. Woke niggas, y'all was never really on the waking shit. Ain't no shook hands in Brooklyn, I ain't shaking shit. Brace it, bitch, my brakes is shot chips from off of glacier drifts. Run my VVS's through the Jamaica glitch. Men lie, women lie, this ain't in this nature, bitch. Yeah, they banned us from TV same year that y'all niggas heard nature spit. Iced out anchors from out of Anchorage. Yeah, it is what it is, that's that camera, that Mason shit. Yeah, man shooting, Panthers in the Carolines, like the Cam Newton, a cancer to this paradigm. We all in, undisputed, one of the ones that the ones recruited. Like Steven and Shannon, we heaving these hammers. Hella in the Bulldogs, we squeezing these cannons. 100 shooters like Mark Jackson and the Mark Buchanan. At first take, we leaving you stranded. On second thought, we leaving you bandaged.